Field of 12 after dark. We've got Kenny Logan, safety for Kansas. And excuse me, Kenny, before I let you say anything, excuse me, 3-0 Kansas on this show. We're going to get into this week's game against Duke, but first, Mr. Logan, how does it feel to have 3 in the win column? And what's that feeling like in that locker room?
It feels good. The locker room, I mean, we're pretty excited about what we did, but we know it's still a lot more work to be done. Guys are staying even keel, keeping mellow vibes. We're not getting too high, we're not getting too low. We're just still chopping wood, trying to keep working on the little things that got us here.
I love that. Listen, keep chopping wood, keep sawing wood, row the whole. I love that. So I was listening to some of your interviews from over the summer, right? And when you were in camp, and you talked about the newcomers, guys from the portal that have helped you because you're one of these leaders of the team. How did you help integrate those guys into the locker room, and how has that been independent from your actual coaching staff? How has it been for just a player-to-player standpoint with some of those newcomers?
Most of those guys came from winning programs, so they already had like the mindset on how to win. We just got everybody acclimated to the way we were doing things, and then they even helped the guys that were here with structure and like what they felt like can help us also win. So it was just us just molding together, believing in one another to keep this thing going. And
yeah, well, I'm gonna double down on that mindset situation. What is the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference in terms of mindset of something going bad and then being like, we're still gonna win versus something going bad and being like, oh no, it's happening to us again?
Us just believing in the little things that got us here, us believing in the process. We got challenged all summer, all spring, with the small details and just the hardship we went through with workouts and different things like that helped us mold together. So when things are not going good or when things are going wrong, we kind of lean on one another and just push each other that we're going to get through it.
I love it. And listen, you got your head coach there, and what's he doing to make sure that just being better than a season ago isn't good enough? That's not the metric. There's bigger goals. There's bigger things on the horizon. What is that coaching staff doing for you guys to make sure that you continue to push? Because listen, winning one more game than we won a year ago is not where we want to be. We want to be way ahead of that. So what are they doing that make sure you guys are laser focused on that every game, but also on every play of every game?
Like I said, just really the same thing, just keeping us level-headed with doing what got us here. Doing all the little things, do not try to do anything that didn't get us here. Do not try to be flashy with what we do, because that's not us. Just on the small details of marking off stuff, checking off lists, just making sure we're in the right position, and don't try to get too high because of how things are going right now. There's still a lot more work to be done. So coaches just try to keep us level-headed for the most part.
Yeah, your hay's not in the barn, right?
Yes, sir.
I love that. So I want to talk Jalen Daniels, right? Watching him in that quarterback role. And listen, this is the way that I want to think about it. Because again, safety to safety, right? This is the way I want to think about it. What does he do that scares you and should scare everybody in the Big 12?
Me and Jalen been challenging each other since he first got the job, since he first came in, actually. So he does a lot of things well. He with just how he's back there poised in the pocket. You always got to be on your toes. You always got to make sure you're doing your assignment, because at any time he can make any throw that can put you out of position. Jalen's a great guy, a great quarterback, and he's just very versatile.
Yeah. Well, let me again, I'm going safety to safety. When he does this, and it looks like he's about to run some sort of a QB power, or or he does this and he's about to take it, what do you think that does to a defense? Like, take people through what that does to a defense, because you're on the other side of it.
Slows them down. It makes you think, like, what's about to happen. Jalen's kind of scared of me, though. I'm gonna put that out there. Jalen's kind of scared of me. So I'm gonna put that out there, make sure everybody know he's kind of scared of me. But now he challenges, he's very even killed, like I said. So he's gonna be Jalen. So you just gotta make sure you're on your toes.
I dig that. Listen, we watched Houston get into a fight with themselves when they were playing you. What's it like to know that the way that you guys play is frustrating teams?
We don't really try to probably pay attention to that. We kind of saw what was going on, but we just try to make sure that we're keeping our heads level and calm,
right,
and make sure that we're executing on a high level, so we don't get our position or blow up.
Yeah, well, I think the big thing here is that as long as you take care of your house, it's other people's houses that are going to be in disarray, right?
Yes, sir.
So I love that. So give me a big view of the Big 12. Why not y'all? Why not now?
I mean, big view, we're still trying to chop wood. We're still trying to focus on the day-to-day constant work, but it's always the end goal down the line, but we're not really trying to think about that. We're just trying to think about the little things in front of us that got us where we're at right now. We're still trying to focus and hammer those down so we can be a great team one day.
Well, I think that what you're saying, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, first downs lead to red zone trips, which lead to touchdowns. And from a defensive standpoint, third down stops lead to us giving them the ball to get more first downs so that we can make things happen. And that's the one game at a time approach, even in a more micro sense. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So I love that. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. We know you. We know Kenny Logan. We know you're a baller. Give me a couple of names that folks need to know, guys that you can see popping up, whether they're young guys, new guys, guys that have been on the team for a while that have finally found their niche, found their role. Give me a couple of names of guys on both sides of the ball that you're excited to see what they do as we get through this season in 2022.
Of course, we got Marvin Grant, we got OJ Burrows, Rich Miller, guys like Gavin Potter, Craig Young, Lonnie Phelps, Caleb Sampson, Bird, Malcolm.
Lonnie Phelps had a huge game to start.
Yeah. So Lonnie, Kobe, Mello, Gerv, all those guys on the defense side, I really can't just pick out a few. Like all those guys up front are doing the job. All those guys at the back level in the back end are doing the job. So you really got to pay attention to our whole team. And then guys like Daniel Highshaw stepping up, just keeping his head down working. Torrey Lachlan, Devin, of course, our receivers, and then the guys up front. So it's really our team, really, because like we're well-rounded. We're a well-rounded team. So you really got to pay attention to everybody. I don't really think it's a shocker because those guys been here, they've been working, chopping wood, but now that everything's kind of, so you just got to pay attention to everybody.
Yeah, I think, okay, give me, you know what? I'm going to narrow this down. I'm going to make you answer it. Give me an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman that I need to pay attention to.
That's a hard question.
Listen, I'm not asking you to say that the other guys aren't also making plays. I'm saying when you're in practice, right? When you do 9-on-7, who is the guy that you're like, yo, he blew that play up? Or he's like, yo, he washed our guy down.
Probably Caleb and Dirk.
Okay. I had to get an answer, man. All right, here we go. You're Kenny Logan. Do you know who Kenny Loggins is?
I think he's a country singer.
Yes, and he sings a song from Top Gun, Highway to the Danger Zone. So wow. is Kenny Logan doing the Kenny Loggins when teams play Kansas? Are they coming into the danger zone?
I mean, I guess so. I don't really know that song. I really never heard it, but I mean, everybody has to be prepared for everything. So
yeah. I dig it. Listen, man, I love talking to you. Like, so realistically, we got a little bit more time here. The thing I wanted to ask you, from an offensive standpoint, at least, not your offense, but from other teams, the opposition's offense, what's the thing that you study the most? I'm just trying to get a little football question in here, because what's the thing that you look at the most with the way that offenses seems like they have carte blanche, right, to have illegal guys downfield and spread you out or bunch you up? What are you more worried about when you come into a game? Are you looking at formations or are you looking at personnel packages?
Formations.
Yeah.
The different formations, I pay attention to that.
What are you looking for in those? Are you looking for if they're spread out or if they're tight?
Really both. Really both will tell you what's going on.
How do you guys handle tight formations with exchange? And I don't want you to give away trade secrets, but I think that we've seen this recurrence of these tight formations, these tight doubles and tight trips. What goes through your mind as a safety when you look at that, when you see three guys kind of stacked or three guys tight together?
Just communication. Just make sure we communicate.
Okay. It's all about communication, right? Because you can tango it, you can banjo it, depending on what the linebacker or whatever. So I had to get that out of you. Listen, you can feel me, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the thing I love about football. Folks, Kenny Logan from Kansas, safety. Kenny, it's been great, man. Like, honestly, like I'm I'm super excited for you guys, and I'm looking forward to it. What do we need to expect this coming up week against Duke?
A lot of great things. Hopefully, a good turnout. Guys excited to go. And a great atmosphere.
Bang, there we go. Thank you so much, man. Take it easy.
Yes, sir.